my money. No, I'm trying to save you money, because after that period of time, that bleach will no longer be effective. And if somebody becomes sick because of that, it's gonna cost you a lot more than this for mixing up a quart of bleach. Because you're talking pennies or cents to mix up a quart of bleach, and you could be talking thousands of dollars if the person gets sick from it. Again, the old Fram commercial, pay me now, pay me later. The whole idea behind a lot of this is preventive maintenance, for lack of a better term, preventive health care. Do things ahead of time to take care of problems so they don't occur later. Okay. PPE, everybody's got to know what this stands for.
Personal protection.
Pardon?
Personal protection.
Yep. Personal protection equipment, which includes what? Gloves. All those are PPEs. Depending upon what you're doing, what product you're using, there is a list on the SDS sheet that shows what PPE items you should have. Okay. Most people don't use them. I never used to. Believe me, I do now. After all these years of finding out what can happen, what some of the problems are, I'll wear goggles, I'll wear gloves. I don't have an apron, but I do have hearing aids and everything else. Please wear them. If it calls for gloves, put them on. If it calls for a goggle, put them on. We don't want you to walk out of here blind. We don't want to have you walk out of here with chemical burns on your hands when it could have been prevented. Again, for your safety. That's the biggest thing on this whole part, is your safety. Eyes. Have you ever had a chemical splash in your mouth? Don't think much about it, do you? Do you ever breathe in chemicals where you need a mask? You don't think much about it, do you? Over years, it will catch up to you, if not right away. And there's a reason for all these PPE recommendations on the SDS sheets. Okay? So the answer to that one is B. Next question. Any disinfectant can be used in case of a blood spill. Very good. You're right, it has to be a particular one. It will state on the bottle or on their sheets that it can be used to pick up blood or disinfect after blood. Now you've got spill kits or blood kits here. I think both places do. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they have them in Sioux Falls also. Here I know there's some in Dan's office. Rich's here are where?
100 wing.
400 wing? Okay.
100.
100 wing? Okay. How many of you knew where they were located? Very few people do. That's another one, just like the eye wash station. If you've got a spill and it's blood, you better know where the proper stuff is to pick it up with. Those kits include the gloves, aprons. I can't remember if yours has a disinfectant in it or not. I'd have to look. But again, familiarize yourself with them. Rich, Harlan, Dan are not always around. You've got to know how to use those. If somebody hurts themselves, you got to go into a room. Somebody cuts themselves, there's blood on the floor. You've got to know where those things are and how to use them. Right? Everybody understand that part of it? Okay? An SDS, what's it for? It does help me sleep. Again, for your safety. How many of you actually look through SDS sheets? Arlen has. All right, let me ask a question, hypothetical. You're here at night. Somebody spills something on their hand, then all of a sudden it starts turning red. What do you do? Pardon?
Put it underwater.
Are you sure?
Look at the SDS sheet.
Look at the SDS sheet. There are some chemicals, you put water on them, it's going to make it worse. So that's what the SDS is there for. How many know where your SDS sheets are located? Raise your hands. Who knows where the SDS sheets are?
Laundry room.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're working there even, okay, let's say during the day somebody has this happen. What do you do? Right? Dan's office. Do you know the SDS sheets have to be accessible 24 hours a day in a central location? Pardon? Oh, I thought somebody said something. You've got to have SDS. You can have them in different wings. You can have them there, but you have to have one location accessible 24 hours a day, unlocked. It means you don't have to go into somebody's office and find a key. It's got to be someplace where you have easy access to them. The other thing with SDS, yes, you don't want to look at them. But again, usually water is the best thing for them, but not always. What if there's a fire? It tells you what to use in case of a fire. It also tells you, it's an important sheet that if you have to take somebody to the doctor, you grab this SDS sheet, you take it with you, and the doctor can look at it, and he can see what's in that. If somebody breaks out in a rash, why is that? He'll look at it, and you can tell him, okay, this is the product that caused the rash. He can look at it and tell you what to do after that. Most people are not going to look at SDS sheets. Most people don't know where they're at until it's too late. Again, like eye protection or like eye wash stations, PPEs, don't be too late. Know where it's at ahead of time. But,
What is that acronym, SDS?
oh, I'm sorry, safety data sheets. It used to be called MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheets, but then there's what's called a global initiative, what I won't get into. They changed everything. What used to be a 4-page report, now it's a 16. I mean, they're just, it will also tell you if it's toxic to fish. It'll tell you if it's flammable and everything else. So if anybody's interested, yeah, you can learn a lot of information. Most people don't want to. Am I in trouble? Oh, okay, I'm hurrying. So the answer to that is for your safety. Okay, sanitizer. When and where should you use it? How many do? Don't raise your hands, I'm sorry. Again, for your safety, for the resident's safety. When they say before and after entering the resident's room, yes, because you don't want to take anything in, you don't want to bring anything out. Okay? How many go to a doctor's office? You know that if the doctor walks in the office, he's required to use a sanitizer before he does anything to you? Yeah. If he doesn't, you tell him or her, sanitize your hands first, because they have to do that. When entering or leaving work, how many do it then? Most people don't. You want to take home what you caught here? Have you seen those commercials on TV where the little kid comes home when he's sick and the nose is running and everything else? Same thing. Leave what's here, here. Sanitize your hands before you leave. When you come in the morning, don't bring what's home in. It's a simple thing. You walk by and squirt it and rub your hands. Make sure when you're doing it, I'm sure they've gone over this, fingernails, young people, thumbs, if you're sitting there texting. Okay, it is very important you sanitize your thumbs in this whole area, again, in between the fingers, down to the fingernails and your thumbs. All right? When changing tasks, if you're cleaning the bathroom, now I don't know how Rich and Dan them have this set up, but if you're in cleaning the bathroom, do you really want to walk around and clean the kitchen or clean somebody's bed afterwards without sanitizing your hands? Well, hopefully you're using gloves. We'll get that in the next part. I got to hear it. Come on.
We do the housekeeping and, yeah, she's giving me grief about not doing gloves all the time when I clean the toilets.
Okay, that's the next one. But wait, the answer to number 11 is D, all the above. Please use it. Again, for your protection, the residents' protection, your family's protection, your friends' protection. Like I said, you don't want to bring things home or bring things in. All right? Last one, gloves should be changed whenever you switch tasks. You don't use gloves when you're cleaning the toilet? No, I'm sorry.
There's a few that, I mean,
Again, it's,
90% I do, 10% I don't.
okay.
Okay.
What I'm worried about is that 10% is gonna splash or do something, so.
Well, and I need to be having the goggles and the mask,
Well,
the hazmat, the whole thing.
actually, that's what they say you should have, yes.
I would like it.
Yeah. But again, gloves. How often do you change gloves? Again, same idea, sanitizer. If you're in cleaning the toilet, you clean the bathroom, you got a set of gloves on, you're wiping things down, you're wiping the toilet lid, the toilet seat, the showers. Why do you want to walk out and walk to the person's closet, sink, or whatever, and use that same glove? You don't. Change gloves when you change tasks. If you're gonna go outside, take garbage out, wear gloves, take garbage out, come in, get rid of those gloves. I know it's gonna raise some costs, but again, I'd rather have you safe, and it's gonna cost them a lot less money. All right? My time, I think, is almost up. Before I go, I'd like to introduce you to a gentleman in the back, Jamie. This is Jamie Jorgensen. Jamie is the young man that will be taking over my territory. All right? He's from Groton, South Dakota. He's been with us for a little over a year. All right? He's going from being our floor care and equipment specialist to a general salesman. Okay? Please give him some time. If there's questions, ask him. You may not know all the answers right away. I didn't, and I still don't. But he'll be more than happy to get answers back to you. Okay? But again, it's been a pleasure on my part to visit with you folks, and I hate to say it, but yes, I actually enjoy coming to things like this. I know I'm crazy, but that's also part of the reason I'm retiring. But again, I appreciate the opportunity, Deb, Neil, everybody back. I can get everybody.